Hello everyone! Today you will be learning about the importance of wetlands and how you can help protect them. Some of the topics of this presentation will include water, northern leopard frogs, and human impact on wetlands. So what is a wetland? Why are wetlands important? Wetlands are defined as a place where water and land meet. Are shallow in depth, usually 1 to 3 meters, have slow-moving or no-moving water, are either permanently or temporarily flooded, or full of water in the spring and dry in the fall. Some common names for different types of wetlands are swamp, marsh, fen, and bog. Depending on the type of wetland, it may be filled mostly with trees, grasses, shrubs, or moss. At one time, wetlands were thought of as wasteland. Many of Canada's wetlands were drained or filled in so they could be turned into farmland or into land for buildings in cities and towns. Approximately 60 to 70% of Alberta's wetlands have been lost in areas of the province where cities and towns are built. Should we care about preserving wetlands in our province? Yes, because wetlands are important. What makes wetlands important? Well, wetlands are considered to be nature's water filters. Plants and organisms that live in wetlands trap or remove dirt and pollution carried into the water. This process helps clean the water that flows into wetlands. Wetlands also act like sponges. They can absorb large amounts of water and then slowly release stored water over time. They help reduce flooding during large storms by storing the extra stormwater. During dry seasons, wetlands provide water for people and wildlife by releasing the water they stored during storm events. Wetlands are a place of beauty and fun for recreation activities like fishing, canoeing, and swimming. Wetlands are one of the most productive ecosystems in the world and are comparable to rainforests. Wetlands provide valuable wildlife habitat to hundreds of plants and animals in Alberta. Many different amphibians, birds, fish, invertebrates, mammals, and reptiles live in wetlands. One of the many amphibians that call wetlands home is the northern leopard frog. Northern leopard frogs are a special type of species because they are considered to be bioindicators. Bioindicators are living organisms whose population status can tell us the relative health of the ecosystem they are living in. If the northern leopard frog population is alive and thriving, then the wetlands they live in are clean and healthy. Did you know that northern leopard frogs are considered to be an at-risk species in Alberta? This means that their populations have declined significantly and remain low. They are at risk due to loss of habitat and water contamination. Over the last 30 years, populations of northern leopard frogs have fallen by 60 to 80%. To survive and thrive, the northern leopard frogs need clean water, plentiful food, oxygen, that includes oxygen in the water, and shelter. Pollutants entering the wetlands change the ecosystem and are harming the natural northern leopard frog population. What types of pollutants are contaminating the wetlands? Vehicles often leak fluids onto roadways. Fluids that can be washed into wetlands or bodies of water during a rainfall. These harmful fluids can be very damaging to wildlife. To help keep these harmful fluids out of Okotoks water bodies, do a visual check on the ground under your vehicle to make sure there are no fluid leaks. If you do spot a leak, make sure you tell your parents so it can be fixed by a mechanic. Did you know that humans can change ecosystems when garbage is not properly disposed of? When we litter, animals might get caught in debris or might mistake garbage for food. Garbage can also contaminate their home as it breaks down over time. Help prevent litter by making sure you are putting your garbage in a secure bag so it doesn't fly away. And close your recycling lid all the way so items don't escape on windy days. Fertilizer is considered a type of stormwater pollutant that can enter a waterway. If we are not careful when applying fertilizer, rain can carry excess fertilizer or fertilizer spilt on the road or sidewalk into the river or wetland. Added fertilizers are harmful because they contain nutrients that encourages algae to grow. The algae grows out of control and uses up oxygen in the water that aquatic life needs to survive. How can you help prevent this type of pollution? Try to use less or no fertilizer, or use natural fertilizer, like compost, in your garden. Other wetland pollutants are pesticides and herbicides. Some people remove weeds and other pests using pesticides and herbicides. When these are sprayed onto lawns or gardens, rain can carry these chemicals into wetlands and kill the aquatic plants and bugs. You can help by trying to find more natural solutions for pest control, like homemade non-toxic sprays. If you must use pesticide or herbicide, make sure that rain isn't in the forecast so these chemicals aren't washed away into a nearby water body. Dog poop is another pollutant that harms wetlands. Dog poop left on the ground is one of the most common pollutants of the Sheep River and storm ponds. Animal poop is full of harmful bacteria and parasites. If dog poop is left on the ground, it can be washed into water bodies such as wetlands, rivers, and storm ponds. This leads to increased bacteria content and excessive algae growth in these bodies of water. By cleaning up your dog's poop, you are helping the water bodies in Okotoks be clean habitats for many animals and plants. In the winter, cities and people often use road salt, sand, and/or gravel to keep roads safe for driving conditions. When spring comes, a lot of sand and/or salt is moved off land by melting snow and rain. The salt dissolves into water and changes the water chemistry, whereas the added sand and gravel mix into the water, settling on the bottom of wetlands over time and make it difficult for fish eggs to develop. You can do your part by using an eco-friendly de-icer or gravel on your sidewalk when it's icy. How does the town do its part? The town uses an eco-friendly gravel and low-salt mixture for ice control, and sweeps gravel and silt off the streets in spring. In your classroom, we would normally show you a demonstration of how these pollutants are moved from streets and yards into wetlands. Instead, click on the Wetlands demonstration button to see a visual demonstration we found on YouTube. Since wetlands are so important to both humans and animals, we all need to protect these ecosystems from disappearing and being polluted. What ideas can you think of to better protect wetlands? For additional activities and resources to explore wetlands, check out the links that are provided beneath the presentation. Happy learning!